Okay, we are going to talk about marketing in spiritual business because this is such an important concept for people who are in spiritual business to really understand and get over their fears and ickiness about. So, welcome into this space. My name is Raina. I've been running my spiritual business for over 6 years, and I had a graphic design business for 2 years before that. I've been traveling full time doing grid work for over 5 years now. Needless to say, I've had a lot of success, I've built a legacy, and now I'm here to teach you about how you can do the same or similar in your own unique brand, in your own unique business. Today I want to talk about business terminology, marketing terminology, and why your avoidance of those terminologies and of the fact that you're running a real business is why you're blocking yourself from your sales. So let's get right into it. So I'm inspired to create this video because I saw this post on Threads. Somebody was talking about giving like $2 readings, and I was like, what's going on? Why are we doing this? And so I suggested for her to focus a little bit more on like a higher ticket reading because I think that, she'll make more money and she wanted to compete with what she was competing against. And long story short, and there's no judgment to her because I know this program because I had the program too. She was like, that's amazing. I totally agree with you. But like, I just don't like the term high ticket. Listen, I get it. High ticket, CEO, ROI, profit, revenue, sales, closing the deal. That can feel so fucking uncomfortable for a spiritual business owner when you're like, hi, I have these gifts and I just want to serve them and I want to help raise consciousness of humanity and raise the vibration. You might not have the business background that's going to anchor your business into the actual physical 3D quantum field. The difference between a successful spiritual business owner and a non-successful spiritual business owner is going to be the willingness to understand and comprehend that you're running a business. And second of all, the actual strategies to execute what it looks like to run a business. Here's where most spiritual business owners are. This is why I created my entire spiritual business course, by the way, is like this, almost this exact thing. Like there's two major reasons. But basically, once I had realized, I remember it was April 2020. I was part of this business. I was in this business program. And I remember when the mentor said, she was like, you're the CEO of your business. Do you still want to run your business? And I was like, fuck that. And I quit for 6 months because I didn't want to run a business. I wanted to have my services and be spiritual and do all these offers. But the actual concept of being a CEO did not sit right with me. But not in a, it's not right for me, in a, I don't, like that just feels icky, that feels uncomfortable. Like I'm not, like I'm just supposed to be doing these Akashic Records readings and quantum healings, but like a CEO, what do you mean? So I actually left my business. There's a lot of reasons why I left my business at the time, but also that was really like a wake-up call. I had been running my business for about 2 years at that point, but I had never seen it as a business. I had just seen it as the services that I'm offering the world to raise the vibration of the planet, as most spiritual entrepreneurs will at the start. Yeah, so I was still able to make like 4-figure months. Like I could have a 5-figure, or I could have like a $5,000 month or an $8,000 month, but I could never break past like the 10K. And it was all in flux. And we'll go into that side of things in a different video because that's actually why SBA was created, because you should not be manifesting your clients in sales. So you need strategy. But let's focus this video just on these marketing terms. So I don't know why I'm getting this like strong urge to be like, when you learn this, this gets to be your view. But what I really want to share here is, let's actually bring it right back to the high ticket. So the high ticket concept. So when you're resistant to these words, like you don't want to use the term high ticket or sell high ticket in spiritual business. First of all, how the fuck do you expect to have financial success? And I'm gonna be blunt and transparent. Low ticket will work for some people. I know people who've become millionaires through a $27 offer. I know people who've become millionaires from a $555 offer. Spiritual business, the way that spiritual business is going, you don't want the $27 offer. You want the 10K offer. This is coming from somebody who sold 6 figures in high ticket sales this week alone in a spiritual business. You need to be aiming up if that's your goal. I'm not speaking to people who just want to make 50K a year. I'm speaking to people who are in the spiritual industry and you want to be making 7-8 figures. Like you are spiritual, but you also understand the value of currency, the value of money. You want to build the new earth. You'll understand you need money to buy land, to buy planes, to create an entire community and civilization. So I'm talking to people who want to make money. When you're resistant to terms like high ticket, you're actually resistant to selling high ticket. You're resistant to, you're too afraid of selling something that has a higher dollar value. So say, for me, high ticket is anything that's like, in my perspective, I'd say like $5,000 is like a minimum for a high ticket, but some people would consider for anything that's 4 figures high ticket. I would say 5,000, because even 5,000 is like, that's low ticket a little bit still for me in my progression of business, but for the majority of people, a 5K program is probably a little bit more high ticket. So we're going to take that 5K and just use that as the baseline for what a high ticket offer is. Now, you could be selling a 3-part course for $27, making a little impact on somebody, and then making that little impact on hundreds and thousands of people. But here's the thing with low ticket, you need high visibility. For a spiritual business owner, that visibility is your issue. You're going to struggle with visibility. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you're a Akashic Records reader, quantum healer, Reiki, if you're in absolutely any sort of spiritual industry, girl, you have so much visibility work to do. And I know that because I've been doing the work for a very long time. You have contracts in past lives to not share your gifts. You're not a regular fucking business owner. You don't get the manifestation type of thing where you can just go on and just go viral. And you have to have a big audience for a low ticket offer to work. That's why for spiritual business, I'm like, you need to go high ticket. You need to build close, tight-knitted relationships and connections with the people that you work with. Because at that point, you could have 5 followers who buy your 5 high ticket $5,000 offer, and you're making $25,000 versus 5 followers, $27 offer. 3 of those people aren't going to give a fuck about it because it's not going to be that important to them, because they're going to say, oh, it's $27. That's not going to give me that much value. Congrats, you closed the sale with 2 people. You made $60 compared to $25,000 because you weren't familiar or comfortable with high ticket. Being familiar and comfortable with high ticket, I will say, that took me a long time to do. It's not like it was an overnight, oh, I'm so comfortable, like sending a text message and be like, here's a link for 5K. Now I will send a link for 5K and I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not even going to like create a website or like get on a sales call about it. I'm just going to send the link. And when you get very comfortable understanding the value that you offer, it becomes a lot easier to send over a link that has a higher ticket item. I would say it would probably stretch me if I was to send a link that was like $15,000, $20,000. That I would send it, but I would have a little bit of resistance. So that's where I personally am at when it comes to higher ticket sales. I don't know why I was called to say that, but if anybody has broken through from 20K, let me know, because I need your help. But no, I can do it on my own. But when it comes down to it, being able to understand that, yeah, you're spiritual, but girl, like, you run a business. You sell, you have a product and a service, and this is where I'm like, you need to get out of it. Like, and I'll always be the person that's going to give you the tough love, right? Like, I'm not always going to be somebody who's going to show up and be like, everything's easy, enjoy, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm probably going to be the one that some people will call a bitch, and then other people will be like, oh my God, thank you so much for like calling me out in my weak spot and my blind spot, because you can see me. And the reason that I coach like that and operate like that is because I know that me being a little bit of tough love and being like, you need to get your shit together, basically, if you can't accept that you're running a business, if you are uncomfortable with high ticket sales, you need to get your shit together, is because I know your potential. Like, I know that you're meant to go impact this planet, but I don't want you to do that for a $27 offer. I want you to have a high ticket program that people can sign up for, so that you're not relying on visibility or manifestation. Because for spiritual business owners, and I'm going to say the first 2 to 3 years. So I've been in this for 6 years, and I was actually, I would give myself probably an extra year of when I was just posting on social media, giving free readings and doing things. So I was still doing it before I was like officially the business. But when you really consider it, like, this is coming from me. And I could not name one other spiritual business owner who's had the same levels of success as me that isn't like just manifestation or like in like the dark side of spiritual, but the ones that are actually here for the new earth. It's unheard of. Like, it's unheard of to find these levels of success. So I understand why my voice on these topics matters, holds a weight, and has an impact, because of the legacy that I've already created, because of the rare success that I've had. I made the blueprint, so I know how to take you to multi 6, 7, and 8 figures in a spiritual business in a way that honors your gifts, but also reflects the fact that you're a badass business owner, and you need to get that. Like, you need to accept that you are a business owner, you are in business, you are selling, you have low ticket, medium ticket, high ticket. These terms should hold no charge. You should have zero reaction. If anything, it would be like a positive, like, oh, high ticket, like happy. But when I say low ticket, medium ticket, high ticket, neutral. There's no emotion. I have zero emotion connected to those things, and it's the emotional disconnect from those terminologies that lets me send a link for $5,000. I'm not going to think about it, and I've sent a lot of links for $5,000 this week. And so you need to get to that point. I do believe neutrality and pricing and money is key. I talk more about that in spirituality. You have to be neutral when it comes to sales, not fully neutral in the whole selling process, but you need to be neutral around the dollar amount. The second that you have a charge against, and a charge is either positive or negative on a polarity scale, but if you have any sort of feeling, emotional reaction towards a number, whether positive or negative, that's going to actually impact how your client feels when you say that number. So for example, maybe you're on a sales call. I don't really do sales calls, but if you were on a sales call and you were launching a program, let's say it's like $2,000 for like a 8-week program. What would happen is you would likely end up on that sales call, and when you had to say the number of the program, if you say that the program is $2,000 and you're like, oh my God, is that too much money? Like, are they going to buy it? Like, if you're contracting, your client feels that. Your client feels that over the screen. So you need to master neutrality. You need to be able to say $2,000 either neutral or with conviction and confidence, with, of course, that's what it's worth, without it being like, I need to prove the worth of it. You need to start to see numbers as neutral. And this is so fucking important for a spiritual business owner, because people will go to the mall. Listen, I could go 10 minutes and I could be at like YSL. I could walk in and I could watch multiple people drop multiple $1,000s on a bag. Multiple people would drop multiple $1,000s on whatever offer you have. I think that you underestimate the amount of money people have and the amount of money people are willing to spend on things that could actually impact them. So if your selling point can be just a little bit better than a YSL bag, if you can transition your results into some sort of luxury outcome for them, so feeling confident within their own skin, being able to feel like they really matter, feel like they fit in, feel like they belong, whatever your transformation is, and for some people it's going to be different depending on what you offer, then you can go and put any fucking number on your offer. And that's the biggest illusion in the spiritual industry, is that you have to price something specific, or you need to use angel numbers in your pricing, which you don't. Although I'm very guilty of that. As well as just this overarching comprehension that yes, people will invest multi-4, multi-5, and multi-6 dollars in your business, but you don't see yourself as somebody who's capable or worthy of receiving a higher ticket sale because you're uncomfortable with the term high ticket. If you're so uncomfortable with the terms high ticket, you're uncomfortable and you resist the fact that you need to market your business. I remember, I'll never forget when I met this person, and they were a tarot reader, and they came up to me at this restaurant, which was very normal in the location that I was. I know in the rest of the world, somebody coming up with like a tarot card would be really fucking weird, but it was very normal where I was. And he just pulled a card, and he was like, oh, on the back of my card is all the information on how you can book with me. And I was like, wow, like that's so genius. Like, he's in a spiritual town, going to a restaurant, pulling free cards for people, and then his information's on the back of the card. I was like, I told him, I was like, I'm not interested in reading, but listen, like, that's incredible marketing. Like, you're so good at marketing. And he was like, I would never use the term marketing. That's so terrible. It's so capitalistic. And I'm sitting here like, spiritual business owners, if you're that guy, you got to stop, because you will not see the success that you're seeking. There might be a couple rare chances if it's like destined, but let me tell you, you can speed up and accelerate where you are now to extreme success if you just accept that it's okay to run a business, it's okay to market. Like, I understand, because what you're doing is so passion-based, it's so service-based, but also, like, where are you still caught in some sort of ego by thinking that you're better than the rest of the world for not claiming that you're marketing your business when you are, or for being afraid of the terms high ticket. Like, where are you avoiding your own business? And like, you realize that if you accepted the terms high ticket, if you understood you ran a business, if you understood that you're marketing, and if you understood those things and then took business into the spiritual, that's your ticket for success. So I'm gonna give you that because this is such a key lesson that any spiritual business owner needs to overcome. And I know 99% of spiritual business owners will struggle with this at some point in their business journey. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really hope that there was something in this that added value to you today. I do apologize if I got a little bit loud towards the end of this video. I am sending you so much love. If you want to join into Spiritual Business Academy, this is my full business program. It is an ongoing program, uncapped, which means when I feel like I want to create content for it, I post more content. Otherwise, you have about 12 full modules already ready to go on conscious content creation, creating your offers, your why, your purpose. We go into frequency branding. Next year, we're really taking a look deeper into frequency branding. I want to teach a whole topic on high ticket sales because I think it's really important, getting you comfortable with sales, etc. It is the business program to be in. The link will be in the description box below. We can also work one-on-one if you're looking for more of an Akashic Records reading or just general mentorship and consultation around your business. You can find information for booking with me in the description box below, as well as longer term mentorship over the course of 3, 6, or 12 months. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next video or in one of my programs.